Hey everyone, this is Jake, and today we are going to be talking about challenge mode content that was updated from last patch within Sea Server. So in this video, we'll talk about what the challenge content is and what you can expect from the future as you unlock more acts, and we'll talk about generally things to buy and not to buy and stuff like that. And my progression within Korean server, I will show that as well, so you can see what you can expect from the future. Anyways, let's talk about Challenge Dungeon. So this is how Challenge Dungeon works. Act 1 is really easy, and usually they come with special buff or debuff, so you can't be just using same units again. So lower floor like Act 1 and Act 2, mostly you can just use whatever you kind of want, the best team you have, and you should be able to clear a 3-star without much issues. It's only on 3 floors that when it starts to get really hard. So don't worry too much about Act 1 stages, just go and clear these and you should be fine at the end of the day. Now, every time you enter, as you can see, it will cost me a single ticket. These tickets will refill every single day after reset time, so you want to make sure you use these tickets every day. And these tickets capped at count up number 10. So if you have more than 10 and if you pass by the reset time, the ticket will be not generated again for you. So you want to make sure you always spend it and keep it lower than 10. So say if you're at 9, then you should be fine. Next day you should see your ticket counts at 10 now because you received extra tickets. And you are able to buy additional tickets. Let's say if I had a 10, if I bought 5 more, I would have 15 tickets. But if I wait until reset time, and it will not give me free tickets, so you will have to make sure you will always be spending these tickets. And like I said, earlier dungeons are pretty easy, so you shouldn't have much problem with spending these tickets. You should be able to clear at least Act 1, no problem. And the 10 tickets you have, you should be able to get to pretty decent progress. And Act 2 should be pretty similar. So for the next couple days, you shouldn't have any problems with your ticket filling up. And let's talk about the boss stage. So the boss stage was usually halfway through, like every 5 stages, and they usually give you better rewards than others, and it will cost you 2 tickets per entry. So if it costs 2 tickets per entry, that means when you exit out, it will only refund you half of the tickets. Here's the changes they made within Korean server, because as you reach the higher floors, it is really hard to do some of these boss stages. So a lot of people complained, so they made sure the ticket will be only cost 1 ticket for every single stages now. So I think Sea Server did not bring the latest version of the challenge dungeons compared to Korean version in terms of system wise, because like I said, in system wise, for Korean server, every boss stages will cost 1 ticket instead of 2. Where the Sea Server right now will cost you 2 instead of 1. Be aware of that, but up to Act 2, you should not have any problems clearing a 3-star. Honestly, if you have a decently maxed out 1 squad and couple DPS variations, because sometimes they do get banned. So boss stages are usually the same as the one you started up with, and they throw in some extra enemies and some extra gimmicks on the way, so it is going to be same kind of boss, but going to be a bit harder and more challenging. So don't really get scared about the Act 1 and Act 2. Like I said, you shouldn't have much problem retrying. I think a lot of you guys probably should be strong enough for these. You should be able to get these gears as you 3-star it. If you only get 1 star, you will get the first gear, and if you get all the medals, then you should be able to get all the rewards out of it. So we talked about overall how the stages work and what you can expect from the boss stage. Let's move on to what you can buy from the challenge shops. So the challenge shop's main currency is going to be the medal. These challenge medals you can acquire 2 ways. If you clear the stage, you should be able to get with the first reward, or if you trade in tickets, you should be able to get the 20 challenge medals. So with this challenge medal, you can buy many things. You can buy such things as a credit, you can buy the info book, stuff like that. When you go to limited section, you should be able to buy something like a maze hands, maze gear, as well as a set binary. And when you go to unit data section, you should be able to buy these character pieces as you clear each act. But I would definitely say the maze gears are the ones that you want to focus the most. These character pieces, I mean, Brownie is not a bad choice if you want to get her just for, fun. But overall, I think the best value of these medals are definitely buying the maze gears. And if you are kind of stuck with things, because the tickets will be regenerated every single day, and you can't clear a stage because you're too weak or something, then you can trade in these tickets around that time, so you make sure your tickets are not getting overfilled. So you should be able to get 20 medals every single day that way. And also, if you really want, you can buy your extra tickets here for 100 quartz each. Honestly, you don't really need to buy this, But I mean, if you really want, then you can definitely buy it to clear it faster. But other than that reason, I wouldn't really go for it. So we talked about how the stages work, we talked about shop items and what kind of things you can buy and what you should buy. And we'll talk about the reward for each stages within Korean server, because I cleared every single stages basically. So first, act gears are definitely not that good. I mean, the last one, selection box for counter, raid gears T6. Act 1 rewards are kind of garbage in my opinion, but when you go to Act 2, that's when the reward starts to get really good. And you will go to Act 2 and you should be start seeing these boss stages will drop you this T6 equipment. It's called Gordius gears, and this gears will give you ranged and the close range damage resistance on their stats. So this is essential item for your tanker items, and the Act 2 should give you some soldier gears with this stats on it, and you definitely want to get this, and you want to roll, let's say, defense or health on these gears, and you should be able to get a very good tanker build up with these things. Someone like an old admin soldier with this setup would definitely be really tanky. I used it a lot. And you go to 210 and you should be able to get some extra main soldier gears, which is not a bad choice here either. If you go to 215, which is another stage boss, you should be able to get some mechanic gears, and you find a bunch of mechanics here. So something like Sylvia should be definitely pretty decent around a stage like this. And as you clear the last stage of Act 2, you should be able to get the brownie character pieces, and is able to get this box which gives Gordius gear for the counters. And these are basically the end game gear you definitely need for something like now Yumin and other characters. And any other defender like Yumi should definitely be really tanky with these setups. So you definitely want to go for these gears. So Act 2 rewards is the place where you start to see the real reward out of this challenge content. If you go to Act 3, these stages are the ones that's going to start get really challenging and hard, and they start to give you a bit better rewards as well. Like these cutting is definitely really strong. I showed off the stream, so it's pretty scary. I will definitely talk about some different strategy that you can use against these units and what I use to clear these. And as you can see, some stages I wasn't able to clear it, but this boss, the cutting boss, will give Gordius gear for mechanics. This will give some extra maze gear for soldiers, which is definitely not a bad thing. So they give a lot of soldier and mechanic gears throughout here. And there's another mechanic maze gears, and this rhino is insane. And the last one, when you clear the 320, you should be able to unlock Albion to craft it, as well as you should be able to get a box filled with maze gears, so which is really good rewards. So this is pretty good rewards for clearing Act 3. Act 3 will give you Albion, the SSR ship, as well as this. Now Act 4 is not complete. I think there's only 8 stages so far, but the reward is definitely not bad either. So clearing boss stage, which is Titan and some mechanics, is pretty crazy. Definitely going to be a pretty hard stage for a lot of people, but you get some set binary and stuff. But the 408 is the key card here, because this gives a new unit gear called the challenge gears, and these are counter gears, and they come with the watch case and the weapon itself. This weapon, for example, is definitely really good. For the main stats, it gives you a special skill damage boost, and when you max it out, you should be able to get pretty decent results from like a character like a Lily. With this gear setup, Lily should be able to put enemies to sleep with her special attack while doing a lot of damage. And you can also roll the skill cooldown options within the substat. So with this setup, she should be able to spam a lot of her special skills while doing a decent amount of damage as well in the backline. If you go through the Korean server shops, you should be able to see it's pretty similar to what we have. You know, I bought all the maze hands, and I've been trying to save up to buy some maze cases. I'll definitely invest into set Byron later, and like I said, I didn't buy a single ticket. That's what it kind of looks like in the Korean server right now. And if you clear extra acts, you know, you should be able to get some extra character pieces, but I don't think it's really worth it. So that is pretty much about the PvE endgame content, the challenge mode. So these challenge dungeons are definitely really hard, like I said, so if you can't clear it, don't feel bad. Even for me, it is pretty hard to restart every stages. I feel like only a very certain amount of people should be able to clear Act 3. There are some gimmicks to certain stages, but to clear the last stage, especially 3-star, is going to be very hard. So you're going to probably run into some problems. But we'll talk about some strategy, especially for Act 3 in the future. I'll definitely show the units I use to clear it, and we'll try to solve about what's the best way for you guys to clear it. But that is pretty much it about the challenge content. Hope this video gave you some insights about what the challenge content is. Personally, I think these are pretty fun content. I know, like I said, it's challenging, but I think this is one of the PvP contents. When you clear it, you really get the huge satisfaction out of it. But anyways, that is pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.